Once again, Kabuki theater played out in the halls of Congress as a debt ceiling default was averted at the 11th hour by that of the Senate. Now, of course, Biden and Kevin McCarthy came to an agreement on June 1st at nearly midnight to avoid the debt ceiling default. But there are some people saying, well, that's great. However, that's going to harm black people. Now, I should also say the debt ceiling, if you will, needed to be raised from what they are telling us, right? In order to pay the country's bills. And so Janet Yellen, the Secretary of Treasury, said, well, if that didn't happen by June 5th, then, of course, the country would not be able to pay its bills. But, they're able to come to an agreement. But the president and CEO of the NAACP, Derek Johnson, said, wait a minute now. Some of the things that y'all are trying to do in that passing of the debt ceiling will hurt black Americans. And specifically, he said this: the deal avoids the calamity of default, but weakens environmental protection, IRS capacity needed to collect revenue, and adds burdensome requirements for Americans seeking public assistance. He also said conservative legislators were prioritizing corporations and wealthy individuals. Then he went on to say, the debt ceiling should never be used to pass legislation that would fail to stand on its own merit. As the bill heads to President Biden's desk, the NAACP demands that Congress and the administration end the use of debt ceiling as an exercise in legislative hostage-taking. The well-being of black Americans and vulnerable people should never be negotiated. Now, what he means by that is, within that debt ceiling bill, if you will, they're saying that people who are receiving food stamps and TANF, temporary assistance for needy families, they're going to have to do more, right? So they're going to do more with the work requirements in order for them to receive those benefits. And so, again, they're at the NAACP, they're saying, well, that's not right, because that's also kind of playing into racial stereotypes, basically saying that black people are getting more of those benefits and they got to get to work. Now, we know, of course, black people, we make up about 13 to 14% of the population, depending on who you ask. And we know that white people make up even more of that, about 60-something%. So, of course, disproportionately, it's going to look like black people receive more welfare benefits, if you will. But we know it's actually white people. All right. With that being said, Biden lied. Let's just keep it a buck. Biden lied because, as the president of the NAACP said, they were made to believe by Biden that the poor, and you know, a lot of them are black people, would not be affected by what's going on with the debt ceiling, right? But they're saying that Biden caved, but I'm saying he lied by allowing the Republicans, if you will, to put in the requirements to making for people to get benefits, making those a little bit more staunch, if you will, or harder. And so, again, Biden lied, but this is the other thing I want to say. We've been told as black people since the days of Marcus Garvey, up you mighty nation, accomplish what you will. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has also told us, do for self, right? And Farrakhan has carried on that message, Dr. Claude Anderson, and everybody else in between. It says, black people, do for self. Stop depending on this government to take care of you. And so here we are. We know that Biden could not be in the White House if it was not for us as black people. Now, I didn't personally vote for Biden, but a lot of black people did. And look what he's doing. He's like, well, I don't care if it's going to affect black people. We need to get it done, right? So there's two things here. Stop depending on the government. The government is not the friend of black people. And the other thing is, let's depend on ourselves. Dr. Claude Anderson has told us, let's start owning and operating our own businesses, schools, and pool our money together, practice group economics and things like that. But black people, if you think things are going to get better because somebody in the White House may or may not do something for you, you are sadly mistaken. The only people that's going to save us is us. So anyway, y'all tell me what you think of this. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube. Peace.